Hey you guys, welcome back to Mykey TV. I am your host Mykey. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is pretty heavy for some, but I feel like most people have dealt with. If you guys have been paying attention to the news, you guys know that there was an up and coming person who was doing what we believe was pretty well in her career. Her name is Cheslie Krys. The reason I wanted to cover this topic is because it unfortunately, depression and things like that definitely hit really, really close to home for me. So when I heard this news about Cheslie Krys, um, it was extra difficult, right? Because not only did she appear to be doing really, really well according to our standards, right? She was a beauty queen. She was on ET, Hollywood. She was trying to, grow her career, and she did pretty well for what she accomplished in the 30 years that she was here. If you guys need more details on what happened, I'm not going to go into what they already have information wise. There are a lot of YouTubers that have already done that. So you can just go to their page or just type her name in Google and it will pull up more details about the information. The reason I'm here today is to talk about um, just depression and, thoughts of the word, suicide. Um, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. People don't say that word on YouTube. I don't know what's going on with that, but that is a word and it is something that we do need to address, right? Um, to be really blunt, I've had thoughts like that. So that's why this story has definitely been more like hard because you know we don't I wasn't in her head, so I don't know her thoughts per se, but I do know I've been in, situations where I've definitely felt really, really low and definitely have considered the harming myself. It's hard to say these things out loud, but it's very true. Um, there was a point in my life where I just didn't think it was worth going on. I was in a situation where, um, let me back up. To be very, very direct with you guys, because I'm always, I get right to the point, right? So I was in a time when I was heavily associated with religion, and that was the most detrimental time in my life. I'm not gonna say it was by choice, so it was not something that I was looking for. It was something I was kind of made to do at the time. Even to this day, it's the most damaging thing that has ever happened to me. When I think of all the things that has happened to me in my life, that's the most damaging thing. Being associated, kind of with that group, with people. And like I said, other people have other issues that are worse, 10 times worse. They may argue it's 10 times worse, and that's completely fine. But for me, it was so damaging to be part of a religion. It was so damaging. And like I said, it's not something I don't think I'll ever be able to fix in my lifetime. It was that damaging to me. Um, it was more, the experiences, the being made fun of virtually because I'm gay, things like that. So, and then also being told that something's wrong with you. Like I said, I've gotten to the point now where I can talk about this, but when I was in that space, man, I wanted to end it all. It was really, really bad. And like I said, at one point I was prescribed Zoloft. If you guys know what depression is, you know what that is. I was prescribed those pills. I remember taking those for a while. And it was all around the same time that I was, basically being forced to go to church, which, yeah, I don't know, but I mean, isn't necessarily the biggest fan of gay people. So um, that was a horrible time for me. I would say also I want to touch on, and like I said, it's this video. This video is not to garner views, right? Because this video, if you guys are interested again in Cheslie Krys specifically, you can Google her and like literally pull up whatever you want to get more information about what happened allegedly with her, right? This video is for me to talk to people that are having thoughts, of harming themselves, because consistently you're told, um, also I'm not a doctor, but consistently a lot of people say get help, get help. I know in my situation, I would express how I was feeling and then I'd be told, well, you should go see someone. It was that easy to fix, right? Wouldn't we all be good? I understand. I definitely support going to talk to someone. I'm going to get to that. I did end up going to speak to someone, which helped me move in a better direction, you know, versus like kind of wallowing in things. But you know, if someone's sharing something really, really serious with you, you know, just be very, very, very careful with wordplay at that time, because if they're sharing that with you, they're very vulnerable, right? So just to say, oh, we'd help, that isn't probably the right answer. It's probably not the right answer at all. Again, I can only speak from my experiences, and I know that I've definitely been in a place that was dark like that. So like I said, I don't judge people personally that decide to make the decision to SUICIDE, because again, if you're not in that person's shoes, you can't really understand quite what's going on, right? Like you guys will never understand how damaging, you know, my experience was with religion, and like I said, with being bullied, with being this, with being that, how damaging that is in my life. It's something that, again, it's a damage that will never be healed completely. I've learned to, I would say, control the depression monster. I can't really kill it, right? I can't destroy it completely because it's still always there. I'm not waking up every day smiling. I know that on my Facebook, I'm smiling all the time, right? No one's gonna post pictures of themselves crying. Well, at least I don't. You know, in Facebook fairyland, you want to pretty much be interpreted a certain way. But yeah, I've definitely feel, you know, for her in that moment, you know, before to make the decision. Because, and then like I said, I hear all the time people say suicide is, or SUI, C, SUICIDE is a selfish decision. I can argue that because again, you're not in that person's space. You know, when people say it's selfish, I'm telling you from experience, I have been there. I have been there. And like I said, the reason why it didn't happen, you know why? The reason why it didn't happen was because I didn't know how to do it. Isn't that crazy to say out loud? That's the only reason I'm still here. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it that wouldn't have inflicted a major amount of pain that I feared. The pain I feared was greater than my thoughts at the time. You know what I mean? Like how dark that is. That's very dark. So again, back to her, I will not judge her. I will not say that that was a selfish thing on her part because I don't know. And I can identify with thoughts that would be considered dark enough to do something like that and make the decision. That's all I had to say, you guys. Yeah, it's time to actually start having the conversation. Because I think there's so much stigma around it, and if you don't talk about it, it just makes it even worse. Because even now, saying this on camera, it's like I feel that, you know, I'm gonna be judged or something for saying something like that on camera. But, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna start being honest with stuff. And like I said, that's where I'm starting. That is something I definitely have identified with. And again, no judgment from me when it comes to the Cheslie Krys situation. I'm not in her mind, and I have been there. So it's hard to, like, I don't want to say discredit, but it's hard to, automatically side people like, oh, this so selfish. I'm hearing things like this on the internet. This is what has drawn me to just speak out and be really, really honest about it. Because like I said, it is something that is there. Like I said, you can't really destroy, at least I don't know how, to destroy a depression monster. Because Zoloft puts him to sleep, but he still wakes back up, right? Again, I can say that I am of calmer mind, but I will never, I cannot say right now that I'm completely free of depression again. I don't wake up every day cheesing all the time. There are some days where I just wake up and I'm like, again, what am I doing? And for me, like I said, I do talk to people. I have talked to people. That works for me sometimes, but it isn't always the answer, complete answer, I should say. Well, thank you guys for listening. Yeah, let's start having conversations about it, okay? All right.